337 assists. That's not a rookie record, that's the all-time WNBA single-season record across every player, every era, every legend who ever ran a professional offense. A 22-year-old in her first year didn't just break it, she buried it so deep nobody's catching it anytime soon. If you've been watching this league closely, you already sensed something historic was unfolding in real time during the 2024 season. But watching individual games doesn't fully capture what Caitlin Clark actually did. When you pull back and see the complete picture, the specific nights, the records that fell, the moments of adversity that preceded each one, it reads less like a rookie season and more like a systematic hostile takeover of the entire record book. So let's go through it, all of it, because you deserve to understand exactly what you witnessed. If this kind of forensic breakdown is why you come here, hit that like button right now. It tells us to keep going this deep. Here's the detail most people miss about Clark's opening weeks in the league. She didn't arrive trying to score. The woman who broke the all-time NCAA scoring record came into the WNBA playing point guard, distributing, organizing, averaging 8 assists per game right out of the gate. She was studying her teammates, adjusting to the speed, learning which passes translated from college and which ones got picked off at this level. That disciplined approach is precisely what made everything that came next so much harder to contain. May 28th, Indiana versus the Los Angeles Sparks. Just Clark's 6th professional game, 30 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. The Fever lost, but something locked in that night. She was pulling up from deep without hesitation. She was creating her own shot off a step back that looked engineered for a different era. A player finding her footing doesn't move like that. A player arriving does. 2 weeks later, June 7th, Clark walked into Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. 20,000 fans in a building that hadn't seen a crowd like that for women's basketball in nearly 2 decades. And if you understand real shooters, you know the first 2 misses meant absolutely nothing. By the time the final buzzer landed, 7 three-pointers, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. She tied the WNBA rookie record for threes in a single game in front of the largest regular season crowd in 17 years. She did it exactly 1 week after scoring 3 points on 1 for 10 shooting against the Liberty, the worst night of her professional career. The doubt merchants had their think pieces ready. Clark answered with 7 threes, but the league had already decided how it was going to handle her. Every night, without exception, she was the 3rd most fouled player in the entire WNBA during the first third of the season alone, not among rookies, in the whole league. 46 fouls absorbed in that stretch. Hard screens designed to punish rather than defend. Jersey grabs off the ball, hands on her hip navigating picks. It was systematic. Then, June 1st, Indiana versus Chicago. The moment that became the most discussed play of the 2024 WNBA season. Clark standing on the baseline, back turned, waiting for an inbound. No ball in play, no basketball reason. A full shoulder and hip check sends her to the floor. The officials called it a common foul during the game. The league reviewed the tape overnight and upgraded it to a flagrant one. Former NFL players weighed in. NBA stars responded publicly. Sports media covered nothing else for a full week. Watch what Clark did next. She got up, she walked to the free throw line, she made both free throws, she went back to playing basketball. After the game, standing in front of cameras, she said, "It is what it is. It's a physical game. Make the free throw and execute on offense. No drama, no grievance, no spectacle, just compete." That quote became the operating philosophy for the rest of her season. And she proceeded to shoot over 90% from the free throw line for the year. 90%, every cheap shot, every foul, every body check, just another trip to the line, just another 2 points. Drop a comment below. What moment from Clark's 2024 season hit you the hardest? The assist record, the triple-doubles, watching a rookie end a 7-year playoff drought in a single season? We read every single one. Here's what the highlight packages never show. Early in the season, the turnovers were real, 10 in her debut alone. She averaged 5, 6, 7 turnovers per game in the opening stretch. Part of that was adjusting to the speed, part of it was learning new teammates, and part of it was attempting passes that worked against college defenders but got picked clean by WNBA players who were faster, longer, and smarter. This is the moment where most rookies pull back. They start protecting their statistics instead of pushing their ceiling. Clark leaned forward. She kept making the ambitious passes. But she made adjustments, subtle ones, that only reveal themselves if you're watching with real attention. She started using ball fakes before cross-court passes to freeze help defenders a half-second longer. She started identifying double teams a full step earlier, finding the open shooter before the trap closed. She started understanding which teammate needed the ball low, who wanted it high, who could catch and shoot in rhythm. By August, she wasn't reacting to the game anymore. She was orchestrating it. July 6th, Indiana versus the New York Liberty, the defending Eastern Conference champions. Clark puts up 19 points, 13 assists, 12 rebounds, a triple-double. The first triple-double recorded by any rookie in WNBA history. Not this season. In the entire history of the league. Every draft class, every generational talent, every lottery pick, none of them had done it. Clark did it in her first season, against one of the best teams in the league, in a game the Fever won. Then she did it again 2 months later against the Sparks. July 17th, she set the WNBA single-game assist record, 19 assists. She broke Courtney Vandersloot's mark, one of the greatest passers the league has ever produced. On that same night, she surpassed Diana Taurasi's record for points produced in a single game, scoring or assisting on 66 total points. Then, in August, she shattered Penny Romark's rookie assists record, a mark that had stood untouched for 26 years. Before we keep going, if this depth of research and analysis is why you keep showing up here, consider joining the channel as a member. Your support is what makes it possible to keep digging this far into the stories that matter. Here's where it accelerates. Clark was controversially left off the Team USA Olympic roster, a decision that ignited its own national debate. Instead of sulking through the break, she rested, reset, and came back transformed. In her first 10 games after the Olympic break, she averaged 24.7 points and 9.3 assists per game. The Fever went 8-2 in that stretch, including their first 5-game winning streak since 2015. That wasn't the same team that opened the year 1-8. That wasn't the same player who scored 3 points against the Liberty in June. August 30th, Chicago, the team whose player had shoulder-checked Clark to the floor back in June. She walked in and posted 31 points with 12 assists. The Fever won by 19. She became the first WNBA rookie in history to record a game with at least 30 points and 10 assists. Not a first for the season, a first just ever. September 15th, Dallas, career-high 35 points. She broke Simone Augustus's rookie scoring record, which had stood since 2006, 10 for 22 from the field. All 9 free throw attempts converted, 8 assists on top of it. And with that performance, the Indiana Fever clinched their first playoff appearance since 2016. 7 years of watching the postseason from the sidelines ended by a 22-year-old in her first season. Here's what the complete record looks like. 19.2 points per game, 8.4 assists, 5.7 rebounds, 122 three-pointers, the most ever by a WNBA rookie, and the second most in a single season by any player in league history. 337 assists, the all-time WNBA single-season record across all eras. First rookie on the All-WNBA first team since Candace Parker in 2008. Rookie of the Year with 66 of 67 votes. Fever home attendance jumped from 4,000 per game to over 17,000, an all-time record for any WNBA franchise. The entire league's average attendance in 2024 reached its highest point since 1999. She finished 4th in MVP voting. As a rookie, on a team that started 1-8, she became the only player since Michael Jordan to average 18 points, 5 rebounds, 8.5 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block in a playoff series. Michael Jordan is the only comparable name in the record book. The Fever were swept by Connecticut in the first round. A more experienced, more physical team. Clark posted 25 points, 9 assists, and 5 rebounds in the elimination game and played every minute until the final buzzer. And even in that loss, especially in that loss, the shape of what's coming next was impossible to miss. The league had a full season to study her, scheme against her, foul her, and target her. It didn't stop a single record. Now year 2 begins with every team knowing exactly what she's capable of, and still having no answer for it. If this breakdown reframed what you saw last season, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We're already deep into what the Fever are building for 2025 and what it means for Clark's trajectory. That video is coming, and you are going to want to be here for it.